Well, so right now I just deposited 20 cents in my trading account, and I want to prove that what matters is skill, not capital, right? Because you can have a capital of $1,000, but then you can still blow it before you even reach 1,000.5. And right here is a deposit of 20 cents, and I want to reach if everything goes according to the plan, I want to reach $1,000, right, from 20 cents. And I don't know how long it's going to take for me to reach that target, but I'm pretty sure at the end is I'm going to reach my target. So right here is my first setup, as you can see. So there was an impulse move, and then retracement, impulse move, and then retest. So I'm anticipating the market to bounce on the resistance for me as support. So I'm just gonna buy, and as you can see, I ended my first trade. And one thing about trading small accounts, there's no room for mistakes, because any mistake and any retracement, the account is actually going to blow. So I always make sure that I go for the obvious setup. So right here the trade is running, you can see by yourself. Right now the profit is now on 36 cents, which is not paid. Okay, the goal is to double this account. So right now I reached my target, so I closed with 54 cents. So I managed to double the account, which means there's progress, right? About 1 hour later, I came across flip x2, and according to my analysis, this pair I'm anticipating it to go all the way down according to the way I analyze. So as you can see, my account is too small, so I ended only 2%. I could have ended more than, but then proper risk management is a must. Okay, if I add more than 2, which means that there will be no any room for retracement, so they have the chances of blowing, right? So right now it seems like I already doubled the account, and remember I started on at 54 cents. Right now is around 50. It's around 50 cents floating profit. So it's wise to for me to close, because I reached the target, right? So about 30 minutes later, same day, I came across this FX volume 20, and this is my third setup, right? So you can actually say that the market reached a major support zone on 15 minutes time frame. So we all know what happens every time when the market reaches a support zone. Okay, these are the basics of support and resistance. We buy support and then we sell at resistance, and now that the market reached a support zone, so we are going to buy this thing, right? So let us wait and see how the market is going to react to my analysis. So I ended buy. Right now I have a running trade, and I'm still thinking about adding another position. But then the thing is, this pay for you to open one position with least lot size, you need a margin of 20 cents, and right now in the account there's $3, which means if I took 2 or 3%, that means that I'm gonna take 60 cents of the balance as margin for the trades to run, which is not a good proper risk management. So I just closed the account, and right now the trade is on $2.05. You can actually see that there is progress, right? Well, so right here is flip x2 buy. Okay, this is my fourth setup, and as you can see, I took my buy right here, and then after buying, this was a disguised buy. It made a few pips going upwards in my direction, and then after that it made a retracement. So this gave me hope that this pair is going to buy. The reason why is because it tested this resistance, and then after testing the resistance, it created a support, right? So the resistance tend to support. So right now the next move is for the market to go all the way up, breaking this breaking that resistance, and as soon as it breaks this resistance, is gonna be making candlestick with momentum. So this is my analysis, and let's just wait and see how the market is gonna react to what I've analyzed. Well, about 4 hours later, the trade is still running. Okay, the trade is still running. Remember, the goal is to double this $2.05 to $5 or maybe $6. And this is proof that patience pays, because if I was someone, I could have closed this one with maybe a profit of $1, but right now the account already doubled, is now on $5 equity, right? So I guess now the right time to close before the market start to go against me, right? So yeah, I close with $5.24, and this is huge progress, right? Well, right here is flip X5, and this is my 50 setup, and as you can see, I'm now doing my analysis, and I connected the upper trend line, and the way you draw your trend line is how accurate your results is going to be. So you have to be very careful when you're drawing the trend line. So I put the upper trend line and then the lower trend line, and right now I can see that the market is on a downtrend, right? So I have to take opportunity of that move, and I go along with the trends, right? So I ended 3% with 0.01 lot size, right?
No little pad that flex, yeah. Slime my butt was wrecked. Fuck that whole straight 7. Fuck, ain't like any app. Took that bitch my condo. Hold that down my bitch. All my dumb be dancing. Bad bitch caught on instant. Miss my iPhone kiss. Miss my nigga, they hit him. Already got it, we get him. Proud my nigga don't die in the pussy. I bought a hustle and I had to get it. I had to level up. I bought my first credit. A few moments later.
Well, so about 3 hours later, this is how the market reacted to my analysis, right? And I always tell people that you lose nothing by waiting for the setup to have all the confirmation, right? And trust me, if you trade high probability setup only, these are the type of results that you'll get, right? Anyways, without wasting much time, let me do a brief explanation on how I ended this trade, right? So on that peak, that's the trend line which I used, the turning point, and then those two horizontal line, that's where my entry was, and you can see that I ended, the market went in my favor, and then it made a retracement, and then after making a retracement, it made an impulse move going all the way down, right? So I closed this account with $20.56. Well, so right now I'm about to do the analysis on my CFD setup, and this is FX volume 20, and this is same analysis but different approach. You can see the way I draw the upper trend line, like this is how I always draw my trend line, and I always emphasize that the way you draw your trend line is how accurate your result is going to be, right? So I ended FX volume 20 with 2% and with least lot size, and with the targets I think this lot size is way too small, so I ended with 0.1, and I have 3% with 0.1 and then 2% with 0.01. So let's wait and see.
A few moments later.
Well, about 1 hour 30 minutes later, there was a huge drop, right? There was a huge drop on FX volume 20. So there's nothing new on, like, all the trades which I have taken so far. There's nothing new. It's just same analysis but different approach, right? So I closed these trades with 151.93 cents. Well, about 4 days later, I came across FX volume 40, and this is my 7th setup, and as you can see, I'm already in with 0.1 lot size, and you can see how volatile is the pair, right? By the way it is moving. I'm targeting maybe $500. That's the least I can take from this setup, right? $500, or I would rather let the account blow than taking less than 500. So let's be patient and see how the market is going to react to my analysis, right? Let's wait and see.
A few moments later.
Well, about 7 hours later, I managed to flip 151 to 1,067.9 cents, right? Well, so this is my other setup, and as volume SFX volume 8. So basically this trend is going down, and what's happening right now is a continuation pattern. So I'm anticipating it to break all the way down, right? As soon as that consolidation is over, so I'm gonna sell this thing, right? So I ended with 6 position and 0.1. Remember that this pays a little bit volatile, which means there are higher chances that I might blow this account before it reaches my before it goes in my favor. So I'm gonna be looking at it, and in a scenario that it starts to go against me, I'm gonna risk something like maybe 500, and as soon as it goes in a drawdown of 500, I'm gonna close this trade rest.
No look past that flex, yeah. Slime my butt was wreck. Fuck that whole straight 7. Fuck, act like any app. Two that bitch my condo. Hold up, though, my bitch. All my dumb be dancing. Bad bitch caught on Insta. Bitch my iPhone kiss.
A few moments later.
Well, about 5 hours later, you can actually see how the market managed to react to my analysis. Right now, I am in a floating profit of 2,600, and I don't want to be greedy. It's high time I close this trade before it starts to go against me, right? So here's the setup, and you can actually see by yourself that there was no any drawdown. So I closed with 3,000. So to raise this account from 20 cents to 3,600, I took about 1 month and 2 days.